The Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show.
He's going down the right sideline. He's on right.
Today's show is brought to you by the Baltimore area Toyota dealers, Best Buy, Dick Ford, Geico, and Papa John's.
Hi, and welcome to the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. I'm Jerry Bembry, sports writer with the Sun. Last year, Merville made it to the Class 4A state semifinals, but when this season started, 7 players from that team were gone. Still, Merville had a 9-game winning streak going into their game against Lake Clifton last week. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Number 13 Lake Clifton arrived at Merville looking for the consistency they've been lacking all season. But the number 5 Mustangs, going for win number 10 in a row, were not looking to be denied. And Merville got out of the gate quickly, led by All-Metro senior guard Marcus Hatton. He makes the nice move to the paint for the jumper and the early lead. The Lakers' Andre Mazzone, who finished with 17 on the contest, kept his team close, but Merville would open up an 11-point lead midway in the second. Kevin Taylor hits 2 of his 10. But Team Carroll and the Lakers would battle back with a 17-5 run near the end of the half to take a 1-point lead into the intermission. Carroll led the Lakers with 20 points. After the break, the Lakers showed why they are finally coming together as a team showing strong muscle on the inside. Brandon Houghton finished with 18 points and 16 boards on the night. Kenneth Purnell would add 12 of his own, and the Lakers pulled way out in front with 13 unanswered points to start the third. Marcus Hatton did everything he could to pull the Mustangs close. He finished with a game-high 33 points. But that couldn't make up for 22 turnovers and a powerful, even attack led by the Lakers. They go on to upset number 5 Merville and send a message to the rest of the league that to be reckoned with come the 4A North Regional Playoffs later this month.
Now let's take a look at some other results on the Geico Direct scoreboard.
Semifinals welcome future hoop stars to Roland Park Thursday for a showdown between a very young Gators team from St. Paul's and the season number 4 Reds. And right from the start, one could tell it would be a learning experience for the Gators. Premier senior guard Betsy Gaines shows why she is one of the league's best as she buries this 2 from the corner. She finished with a game-high 13 points. The Gators never got on track in the first half. Here, Megan Kelly deflects the pass, and the loose ball is picked up by Elizabeth Ryan, who looks up court and finds who else? Betsy Gaines. She goes up for the deuce and the foul, and the Reds take a command 10-0 lead. Allison Schindler finally gets the Gators on board with this 3-point bucket, but the celebration wouldn't last long as Esther Ehrman took full command of the inside. She finished the contest with 8 points, and the Reds were ahead by 21 at intermission. In the second half, the Gators were seeing red once again. And again, and again. St. Paul's Lauren Whitty would sink this 3 to help stop the bleeding. But on this night, it was all Reds as they advanced to the final round of the tournament with a resounding 43-16 victory.
It was a South 1A, 2A Class dual tournament which took to the mats at River Hill. The number 12 River Hill Hawks squaring off against the Scorpions from Oakland Mills, while the number 11 Bears from Hammond went head-to-head against the Titans from Einstein. Both the Hawks and the Bears took control of the mat. River Hill's Mike Romano would defeat James Newgar in this battle, while the Bears' Pat Jameson goes the distance for the W against the scrappy Matt Butler. Both River Hill and Hammond would advance to the final round. Last year, the Bears swept the state duels and state championships. The feature match of the night pitted Hammond's Vayman Dennis against the Hawks' Derek Doberman. It was a rematch of last year's state championship final in the 112-pound weight class. This time they went at it 30 pounds heavier. And this time Vayman Dennis shows why he's one of the state's best. He would notch up the victory over Doberman 12-6, as Hammond repeats as the dual meet regional champion. The Bears move forward with their quest for their 4th state championship.
When we come back, the 6th-ranked Glenelg girls basketball team looks to stay undefeated against 18th-ranked Mount Hebron. That Howard County game is Dick's Sporting Goods' big game of the week, and it's next on the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. Welcome back. Going into Tuesday, the undefeated Glenelg girls basketball team had won 8 straight games by an average of 28 points. But that meant little against a Mount Hebron team that, despite losing, held Glenelg to a season-low 49 points earlier this season. Number 6 Glenelg, number 18 Mount Hebron is Dick Sporting Goods' big game of the week. Before we join Dave Goldman at the game, let's meet this week's classroom stars. From Glenelg, we salute sophomore forward Erin Etto, who has a 3.4 grade point average. And from Mount Hebron, we honor Mia Malfino, who has a perfect 4.0 GPA. Now let's go courtside for the action.
The 18th-ranked Mount Hebron Vikings, 14-4, played host to the 17-0 Glenelg Gladiators, who were looking to stay perfect on the season. And it was a sharp start for Glenelg. Heather Young will drop in a 12-footer to get things going. Then off the inbounds play, Heather Young will find Stephanie Howell all by herself for the easy Glenelg hoop. Mount Hebron also proved to be elusive at times. Annie Collins will spot Lauren Kickham all by her lonesome. The Mount would learn the hard way to put a defender on a hot shooter. Lauren Martin's only too happy to offer up the lesson in the form of a three-pointer. And the number 6 Gladiators finish off the first quarter in style. Stephanie Howell increases the lead. Mount Hebron stayed in it, though, trailing 24-14 at the half, thanks to good ball movement leading to layups like this. Mia Malfino catching Lauren Kickham on the move. Glenelg, though in front, couldn't shake them out. It was 35-28 Gladiators after 3 quarters. The fourth quarter was a struggle for both. As the Mount would inch closer and closer, Becca Farrell first hits. Then sophomore Tiffany Randall cuts it to 41-39 with under 3 minutes to play. But Glenelg would get it done again. Lauren Martin drives the lane to score. Then Martin drives, but this time gives it off to a wide-open Jennifer Kurdziel. This three-pointer by Tiffany Randall again cuts the lead to 3. But Martin ices the game with this free throw with 3 seconds left as Glenelg avoids the upset bug, winning 49-44.
These girls have done it all year long. They just suck it up, and they just don't want to lose. I mean, they come in the huddle, and they yell at each other like, let's go, let's go. And, I mean, I tell you, there's not much that I'm doing different out there. It's them going out there with the desire.
It's a tough crowd everywhere that we go, and it's a tough team. And, every team does want to beat us, and we want to beat every team. So it's a good matchup every time that we go out, and you get to see good basketball.
When you're still unbeaten this late in the regular season, you automatically become everybody's big game. And here in mid-February, Glenelg has had plenty of practice, but so far, practice has made perfect. Reporting from Mount Hebron High School in Ellicott City, I'm Dave Goldman for the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show.
Thanks, Dave. For the last 14 years, Frank Rhodes was enjoying retirement after 27 years of coaching. And he was also caring for his wife, Arlene, who suffered a stroke in 1991. But when Wale coach Lester Clay got sick in December, the school turned to Rhodes to take over on an interim basis. Let's meet Frank Rhodes, the Toyota Coach of the Week.
At one time in my life, I thought I could take your team to beat mine or take mine to beat yours, either one you play. I don't believe that anymore, not in this county.
But with 330 career wins under his belt, you better believe Frank Rhodes will give an opponent a run for the money, even though his coaching heyday is well behind him. He's been retired for 14 years, and the only reason he's back is to help an old friend and coaching protege who's fighting a rare disease in his spinal column.
Coach Clay played for me at Appleton years ago, and he was in a class by himself when it comes to playing ball, and as a human being, too. And that's the reason I came back.
The other person Rhodes feels is in a class by herself is his wife, Arlene, who suffered a stroke 8 years ago. She attends every game and rarely misses a practice. They are truly best friends and grateful to have each other.
She was always there for about 40-something years. She's always there. They said she would never walk, talk, or eat, and she's doing them all.
And Frank Rhodes is doing his all in helping prepare the Wildcats team for a strong showing in the playoffs, winning 8 of his last 11 games. But as a coach, Rhodes feels he has another responsibility.
We don't develop character. We give a kid or a student a chance to display their character. Their character comes from home. That old stuff about coaches build character, that's a bunch of bunk. You just give them a chance to display it. And if you can get a kid that's on the fringes to step up, then I think that's where I think I could do a pretty good job of that. There's not a coach in this county now that I could X and O with. They're all better than I am. But I think I could keep up with them in trying to get my kids to really get after the ball and emphasize don't be beat.
We wish Frank Rhodes the best of luck. Now let's meet some of the area's best student athletes. Now it's time to honor our Toyota male and female athletes of the week, who this week are both members of the Oakland Mills track teams. The female winner is Danielle Stoddard, a junior middle distance runner. She recently set 2 meet records during the Howard County Indoor Track Championships. And the male winner is Kyle Farmer, a sophomore sprinter who also set 2 records in the same meet. We salute Danielle and Kyle, the Toyota Athletes of the Week.
I thought I was going to do well, but I didn't expect the Iron Woman or to break any records. I just wanted to run and win, basically.
And run and win big is basically what junior track star Danielle Stoddard did at the Howard County Indoor Track Championships last week. An all-county performer last season, Danielle broke records in the 800 and 500 meter races, and she did it just for fun.
I started running because it was fun, and I guess winning is just one of the bonuses that come along with doing what I like.
Basically, she's a coach's dream. She's funny. Always bright with a smile, ready to joke around, a laughing kid. But when it's time to get serious and down to competition, she's up to the task.
A cross-country run as well. The task for Danielle right now is to break the school record in the 800, which she is 10 seconds shy of. But considering her work ethic, she's on the right track to meet that goal.
You have to want to do it for yourself, and then that's, I guess, when run starts. And you have to really try. It's hard work to just get out there and run. I mean, not just having the talent to do it, but you have to really try. You have to win it and persevere through it, through the pain, through throwing up after practice, everything.
And we congratulate Danielle Stoddard, our Toyota Female Athlete of the Week.
Usually I'm just thinking about running my fastest. Go out there and just run as hard as I can because you only get one chance at each race. But I guess the difference between me from last year and this year is this year I'm actually going out there to try to break some records.
And records he broke. Kyle Farmer, a rising sophomore star at Oakland Mills, ran 6.2 seconds in the 55-meter sprint and 35.9 seconds in the 300 meters. He also anchored the relay team to a 1,600-meet record. He relies on self-discipline to see him to the finish line.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of discipline. You have to know when to just coast and when to really accelerate, use a lot of your speed. So I'm not my hardest critic. I'd say my mom and dad are by far, but I push myself to go harder, do harder, run harder.
We're looking for great things out of him. He's probably the best sprinter that's ever come through Oakland Mills, and we've had a long line of him. And we've won 9 titles in the last 6 or 7 years, and we plan on getting a couple more this year. You know, with him, it's it's the sky's the limit.
And does Kyle mind being considered the best?
I don't consider myself the best because I've met a lot of auto guys who graduated from here, and to me, they're legends. So just honored to meet most of them. A lot of them are real good friends now because they've come out and worked with me.
So for now, Kyle, we'll just consider you our best as our Toyota Male Athlete of the Week.
Now let's check out this week's highlights. They include the Best Buy Play Week and the Best Buy Best Cheer.
Our highlight reel begins with good fast break action by Lake Clifton. A nice touch pass, Kenny Baker to Andre Mazzone, who takes it on home. Over in Roland Park, Megan Roos gives St. Paul's a lift with this three-pointer. Or how about this drive to the bucket by Betsy Gaines? She puts it on through and gets the bonus to boot. But we have to go back to Merville for this honey of a jam. Marcus Hatton goes in for the one-handed stop. All money, which earns our award as the Best Buy Outstanding Play of the Week.
Our Best Buy Best Cheer comes courtesy of Mercy High School. You are now nominated to be honored as the Best Buy Cheerleaders of the Year. Congratulations, ladies.
When we come back, we'll meet this week's Papa John's featured student athlete. Don't go away. back. When Nathan Estabrook lost part of a right foot in a lawnmower accident 4 years ago, doctors told him he would never walk normally again. Not only is Nathan walking, he's averaging 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists as a junior guard on a Greater Grace basketball team. Let's meet Nathan Estabrook, the Papa John's featured student athlete.
We were down visiting some friends down here, and I took over from my dad, who was mowing the lawn. I took over for him, and you know how like the old lawn, like new lawnmowers, when you get off the seat, it like stops, but this is like an old one. So when it kind of tipped over when I was going down up a hill or sideways in a hill, I kind of jumped off, but it didn't turn off like mine did, and somehow I got my foot cut.
And somehow, in an instant, 3 years ago, the life of a young 8th grader named Nathan Estabrook would change.
One of the slices came 1/8 of an inch from my Achilles tendon, and the doctors, at first they weren't sure what was going on, but then they told me that I had missed my Achilles tendon, so I would walk, but it would take me a good year or two till I'd walk normally. But I had basketball season in like 3 months, so I was a little upset, but actually I ended up playing that basketball season.
A month after the accident, remarkably, Nathan was back on the court, determined but scared.
As much as I was telling my parents and my coaches and stuff how God was going to get me through this, I'd be fine, I'd be playing basketball. In my heart, I was scared, but just all the encouragement, like, I kept getting all these calls from Maryland, all the pastors and friends, and I don't know, I got like millions of letters in the mail. And I don't know. I think it's amazing. A miracle.
And Nathan believes in miracles, as does the rest of the students and faculty of Greater Grace Christian Academy in East Baltimore, which enrolls 400 students. Nathan carries a 3.8 grade point average to go with his 20-point average on the court. He also enjoys spreading his message of faith with his Bible study group on weekends in Baltimore City.
I talk to pretty much anybody who will listen to what, who will take a track and listen to what I have to say. And there's tons of people. I mean, I think we have like 70 at night. And it's just amazing. Like, I just watch some of these people sometimes, how they have just faith and just belief.
Everything that he does, he does to the fullest. And he's always looking to excel and not just to promote himself, because he's a very humble kid and he's very reserved, but he's just looking to fit in, find his niche on the team, in the classroom, and in the church.
Nathan would like to enter the medical field one day after perhaps playing Division I ball. But for now, he'll concentrate on other priorities, which go beyond his field goals.
Kind of put it second or third behind God, academics, my family. But I just enjoy it.
Thanks, Elena. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thanks for watching the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. I'm Jerry Bembry, sports writer with the Sun. We'll have more highlights for you next Saturday. Enjoy your school week.